Rise and vibe, manifestors. Welcome back to the Manifest Movement. I never say this, but I am your host, Yvonne Drakian. So if you're new here, I'm Yvonne. And if you're not, well, you already know me, right? So it's been a very crazy week. We have just started the Manifest Money Challenge, and it's epic. So far, it is absolutely epic, and we are only on day 2. But a lot of questions have come up on money and manifesting money. So I'm going back to that topic again. It comes up again and again and again. So what I want to do is talk about my stories from the week and kind of explain how manifestation plays a part in that and manifesting money. So first up, I'm going to just take you quickly through my 7 steps of manifestation, right, for money. So what do you want? Step 1, you got to be clear. It's very clear. We want financial independence, financial security. We want abundance, money, simple. You write that down. What and the things that you want. Don't write down what you want to spend the money on, the house, the car, the abundance, whatever. Don't write that under what. Just what is straight up money, abundance, financial freedom, because money is freedom and choice. Money is freedom and choice. That's what it is. Okay. What do you want? Why do you want it? Why do you want the money? What do you want the money for? So business expansion, financial security, to buy a home. This is where you can put the things in. To start your own podcast. You want money for that. To start your own business, to grow your own business, to educate your children, to live comfortably. Okay. What do you see? What does it look like to you? You've bought a new house. You're going on vacations. You're purchasing with ease. What does having money look like to you? Because it looks different to everybody else. What do you hear? This is a really important one. Like, I just bought my new home. I got a new job. I got a promotion and a pay increase. What you don't hear is, it's so expensive. Oh my God, everything's so expensive. Inflation. I can't afford that. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Your reality might be that you are living paycheck to paycheck. Your reality might be that things are just too expensive for you at the moment. Your reality might be that you're struggling, but it can change. It is not going to change by you saying it's so hard. Everything's so expensive. I can't afford anything. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. It's not going to change in that way. You're just going to find more bills, more problems. You're not going to see the people, the places, the opportunities, all of that sort of stuff, right? What do you want? Why do you want it? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? You get excited. You could spend money. You bought a house. You just got promoted. Like, how does that feel for you? You're relieved. You're grateful. What action are you going to take? So this is one, and I actually can say it now because the Manifest Abundance Challenge is, it's sold out. So it's not like I'm trying to sell it. So there's no sales here from me. So I feel like I'm freely able to say this now. What are you actually doing to manifest more money in your life? Like, if you see, you're like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. This is hard. I'm struggling. I want to manifest more money. But what the hell are you actually doing about it? Like, what are you doing about it? Are you just sitting there doing nothing and complaining? You see maybe my course come up and you're like, yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if I have the time for that. I don't know if I can do that. It's €125. It's expensive. I get it if it's way out of your budget for now. But what else are you doing? I've got podcasts on abundance. I have free tips on abundance on my page. I have a free check on my website. Download or buy the book for €20, 21-Day Countdown to Riches by Rhonda Byrne. Get the magic. Start your own gratitude practice. There is so much free stuff out there. So if you're sitting in the same place financially, month after month, year after year, then guess what? And you might not want to hear this, but it's your problem, right? It is your problem. What you're not changing, you're choosing. Start to make the change. Start making changes. Join the abundance course. Buy the book. Listen to the podcasts. Start incorporating the stuff into your daily life instead of complaining about money, thinking how hard it is for money. And listen up. I'll tell this story afterwards, okay? Because I want to get through these 7 steps. And what are you grateful for? A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles and manifestation, right? So this sweater, do you see this sweater? This is a Bagley and Bowie sweater. And on day 1 of the manifestation challenge, which was Monday, April 13th, a package arrived at my door, a green package. And when I saw the package, I initially thought, oh shit, one of my manifestation challenge box for the abundance challenge has been returned to me. They couldn't send it to the sender. So like return to sender. And I brought it inside. I don't know why I was thinking, because I could see my full name and address on the front of the package. But I still thought it was a returned package. I don't know what I was thinking. And anyway, I started to feel it from the outside and I was like, this doesn't feel like a box. I open up the package and this sweater is inside. This sweater, which are over €100, by the way, and I love them. And I've always had it in my head that I would do a collab with Bagley and Bowie because it is bright, it is vibey, it is my style. I'm like, someday I might do and they're in Kerry, and I'm from Kerry, the west of Ireland, right? So I'm like, someday I might do a collab, but I've never done anything about it. I know it'll come maybe when the time's right. And I like the brand because after the loss of the baby Polly, I bought their sweater, When It Rains, Look for Rainbows, right? So this arrives in the post for me, and there's an envelope, and there's like a 6-page handwritten letter to me. So this was sent to me by one of my clients who's done 3 of the manifestation challenges. I'm calling them clients. I don't do one-to-ones yet. That might change, but she's on 3 of my challenges and she's on my current challenge. This woman, husband, is dying of cancer. She has 2 kids and she was also diagnosed with cancer. Now, let me tell you, when you are going through something like that in your life, it is way, way more challenging to keep your vibe high. And I would understand if she was not able to keep her vibe high. But she is doing really well with her cancer treatment, really well. I think she's kind of out of it. I don't understand how cancer treatment works, but like she's been given the clear, I think. Anyway, it's very positive for her. It's very, very positive for her. She's teaching her kids how to manifest with the tools that she's learning from me. And she manifested €50,000. Right? So, if someone who is going through so much heartache, grief, trauma, what is going to come in her life for her family, then if she can do it, you can do it too. And at some point, we all have to take responsibility for ourselves, show up for ourselves, and actually do the work. So for me, I get this sweater and I'm like, I am abundant. Look at this. I got this gorgeous sweater. But not only that, the message. One thing that I would like to say about abundance, it's not all. One lady said to me in a message yesterday, because when you join my Manifest Challenge, you have direct access to me on WhatsApp. So she sent me a message and she said, I really struggle with manifesting more money because I have an amazing husband. I have amazing kids. They're all healthy. Life is good. My business is going pretty well. So, my family, my background, my mom would always say to me like, but don't you have enough? Sure, don't you have enough? At least and if something went wrong, would be like, but sure, at least you have your health and at least you have your this and at least you have that, which I totally understand. We have to be grateful for what we have, but why can't we have more? Why not? Right? And I just told her, stop looking at wanting more money and abundance in your life as greed. It is only greedy if you are a greedy person. And I'm going to give you an example of this, right? So, two examples of this. So, I've been driving to the gym in the morning and I get up really early and I'm kind of in the gym between the hours of 6 to 6:30. Some classes are at 6:15 a.m. and some are at 6:30 and I've just recently started a class at 6:15. And over the last couple of days or the last week or two, when I've been driving to the gym, I've noticed that beside my gym there's a restaurant and it has like an awning over it. And when I walk past it, there's an older lady there and she's clearly homeless, right? So she's taking cover underneath the awning. It's really clear from looking at her that she's not drinking and not doing drugs. And by the way, I'm not judging here, even if she was drinking or doing drugs. I'm not here to judge. And we have to give empathy and compassion to everyone that finds himself in that sort of situation. But it looks like she's just a regular woman, maybe in her 60s. And she looks pretty healthy to me. She's clearly homeless. She's sleeping there and you can see all her bags. And lots of days I've been like, God, I must drop her in a cup of tea and some money. I must just next time I see her. But anytime I leave the gym, she's never there. So she's obviously gone by the time it gets bright. Because there's also restaurants beside it. There's people starting to come around and, all that stuff. So anyway, this morning when we were doing our manifest challenge for manifesting money, I do it as a game. GAME, gratitude, affirmation, manifestation exercise. Play the game or remain the same. That is what I say. So our grateful this morning is for one of your largest purchases that you've ever made. Mine, obviously, is my house. And for somebody else, it could be the car. It could be a watch they have, a Fitbit watch. It could be something small. Whatever your largest purchase is, that's what you write you're grateful for today and how it's helped you in your life. And I was sitting there and I was writing about how grateful I am for a home. It was raining outside, that my kids are safe and warm, that we're protected. I love the area we live in. And I remembered the lady that doesn't have any home, the homeless lady. So I was like, that's it. I must make her a cup of tea this morning and give her some money. And I was like, I have no cash in the house. Like, I don't keep cash in the house. And I was like, I'd love if I had 50 euro to give her. So I go over and I'm starting to search for money. And like I said, I don't keep cash in the house. And I have an old wallet and it's sitting in the bar. And I open up the wallet and there's 50 euro inside. And I'm like, yes. So I take the 50 euro, I put it in my pocket, I make her a cup of tea, I head to the gym. And I'm actually praying, I hope she's here. I hope this lady is here. Not because I want her to be sleeping in the streets, but I just, wanted to give her this, right? So she has a teacup and I wrote on it, sending love on, how I always write on my coffee cups because we have some coffee cups left over, takeaway ones from one of my events and the 50 euro. So anyway, I walk up to her and I give her the cup of tea and the 50 euro and I start to chat to her. And her name is Martina and she is going through cancer treatment. And I'd say she's in her 60s, but I just thought, oh my God, you're homeless, you're in your 60s and you're going through cancer treatment. And I said to her, like, is there anything that I can do for you? And she said, just send me good vibes. And I smiled like internally. It was almost a sign from the universe that this meeting was meant to happen. Because if you know me and if you've listened to the podcast, vibes is used a lot. It's like she could have said, oh, love, just say a prayer for me. At the very end, she did say, I said, look, listen, this is my phone number. If you ever just really stuck, like, please just call me and I'll try and help you out as best I can. And she said, look, if you pray, say a prayer for me. but her first words were, just send me good vibes. And here's the thing about manifesting money. Like I always say, you can use that money for goodness in the world too. If you happen to get, and what happened with me was on the day of the manifestation abundance challenge, we sold out. But a couple of people that I know that follow me on Instagram, a good few people said, please, can I just join today? We had already started one day in. I was like, okay, you could start, but no later than day one. I just can't allow it because you're just going to be too far behind. And I was like, I made a few sales, so I can give back. Right? So remember, when you're manifesting money, it doesn't always have to be just for you. Think about how you can use it in society or even in your business. If your business is to write books to educate people, then you're inspiring and educating people of the world. That is giving back. That is being of service. If your job is to have a podcast where you talk about manifestation and mindset and inspire people, that is giving back. So you might want more money to continue to do that in service of the world. And it's okay if it brings you joy too. It should bring you joy. It should bring you joy, because if it brings you joy, you're going to spread more joy. So it's really important. And like that lady, we do not know. She could have been praying, universe, please send somebody to help me. Just give me a break. Let me catch a break. And then there are no coincidences. I show up. I know €50 isn't a lot, but maybe she'll get a meal today, right? So you don't know how the money is going to show up. And one of the biggest challenges I find with people when they're manifesting money is they're trying to figure out where the money is going to come from. You don't know where the money is going to come from. You just start showing up. Now, if you say to me, like I heard someone say, I want my big tech salary, but I don't want to work. I want to stay at home with my kids. Well, you got to do something. It's not just going to show up and bing, bang, boom like magic. But maybe you could figure out something that you can do where you're working from home. Look at me now. I'm doing manifestation. I'm working from home. I'm no longer a lawyer, and I will get to the same place from a financial perspective that I was when I was a lawyer. It's going to come. It is going to happen. The end. Fact. I know it. I have zero doubts. I just keep showing up and keep showing up and keep showing up, right? So my second story is also about abundance and not trying to figure out how the money is going to come. You're not going to win the lotto. Maybe you will if you have this deep. Some lady said to me, I actually had a dream, a really vivid dream. I do think I'm going to win the lotto. I had a dream. I really feel it. I believe it. I was like, well, girl, get it. Because then it probably will happen for you because you have this insatiable intuition and belief and you had a dream. And she said, so should I play the lotto every week? And I'm like, play it when your vibration is high. Play it when you have just a feeling. But the reality is that most people don't believe that they're going to win the lotto. Why not? I've said this so many times because it's hard to believe logically. It's hard to believe that you're going to win the lotto, right? So you don't need to win the lotto to live a life of luxury, to give back to society, to grow your business. You don't need to win the lotto for that. Just call in abundance. Keep calling in abundance by playing the game, by showing up, by keeping that vibration high, practicing gratitude, right? So this is another story. So on Tuesday, on a Tuesday after Easter, so last week, there was a bank holiday Monday, which was my daughter's birthday. And then on the Tuesday, she went to camp. And when she came home from camp, my son was like, someone got sick in camp today. And I was like, all right. And on Wednesday morning, she woke up and she was saying she wasn't 100%. And I could tell by her. But I was like, I think you'll be okay. You can go to camp. So I pick her and my son up from camp. And you just know as a mom, I'm like, oh, she's getting sick. She's getting sick. So anyway, I bring them to the pool and I'm thinking, she'll be okay. And I see her jump into the pool and immediately I'm like, she's not okay. So 10 minutes into the session, I take her out of the pool. The teacher is like, Yvonne, she's just not well. So I take her out of the pool and I dry her up and I wait for my son's session to finish. And that day was a bit of a nightmare as well because I forgot my son's swim shorts. He's 7. I had to buy a pair of swim shorts there that were €25 that were for men. It was a disaster. It was an actual disaster. I was like, okay, right? So anyway, I'm just like, listen, nothing matters. The most important person here is Penelope and she's sick. So I call my husband who works in the area and I say, because it's close to 5 o'clock, I say, any chance you can leave work and cycle home with our son? And there's a bus that's about to come and I'll take Penelope on the bus because I have her bike, a bag, and she's just not able to cycle home. There would be absolutely no way. So he comes, he takes my son, and I'm like, I'm going to get this bus in 7 minutes. And she sits down on the ground and she's freezing cold. So I give her my jacket and she falls asleep on her backpack. Everybody's walking by her and I'm thinking, I don't know why in that moment, but I'm just like, oh, I'm so grateful we have a home, that like I'm not here homeless with a child on the street. It's the middle of the day anyway. It's 5 o'clock. An hour and 11 minutes pass and there's still no bus and my phone has gone dead. So I can't call a taxi. It doesn't matter anyway. We're in Grand Canal Dock in Dublin. The fuel protests are on. There's no possible way that a taxi is going to get to me. So a bus drives up and it's a 77, which I didn't notice until after, but somebody was like 77 and there's another 7 in this. And anyway, so I say to the bus driver, any chance a C1 or C2 are coming? And he said, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know. Like the bus system, everything is just wild with the fuel protests in Dublin. And I was like, all right, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do? Because I'll just have to wait, right? I'll just have to wait. I have no phone. I could have asked somebody, could I use their phone to call my husband? But the reality is he wouldn't have been able to get to me. There was back-to-back log jammer traffic. So anyway, the bus driver goes, hey, just jump on the bus and I'll take you. And he was finishing, his name is Aaron, and he was finishing up his job that day, not finishing up with Dublin bus, but finishing up his route at the very next stop. And then he was done and he could go home. But he put us on the bus and everybody else got off at the next stop and he drove us all the way to where we live, to the bus stop as close to where we live, which is just a minute from my house. And he said to me that he has a 7-year-old daughter and there's just no way he could leave us lying there on the street. And I'm not joking you. When I got off the bus, all I could see ahead of him was back-to-back traffic. And I said to him, I'm so sorry that, you're going to be stuck in traffic. And he said, oh, just don't worry about it. I've texted my missus and she, I've told her I'm going to be late. Now, I expect he was in traffic for minimum an hour, right? Trying to get back around. And I asked him, could I use his phone to call my husband? So I called my husband and I said, can you please pick us up we're just walk down to the bus stop. So this way I had the guy's phone number in my husband's phone because my phone wasn't working. Anyway, long story short, I revoluted this guy some money because I was like, thank you so much. I am so grateful to you. Now, he told me he was going to send it back, but I said, I now know your name. Don't make me go to the bus depot and hand in money. But he did not wake up that morning and think, I'm going to get money in my Revolut account from a random stranger who I helped on a bus because her daughter was so unwell, she was being carried in her mother's arms. He never thought, even after doing that kind deed, that I'd give him money. Because first of all, most people don't even carry cash on themselves anymore to say, here you go. And the other thing is, he probably didn't realize that he'd given me his phone so I had his number. It just reminded me in that moment when I revoluted him money that you do not know how money is going to come to you. Whether you get a discount in a store, somebody gifts you money, you get a gift of a present, everything is money and abundance. everything. And once you start paying attention to it, you will actually see how much abundance is coming into your life. And you're like, no, Yvonne. No, Yvonne, I'm telling you, I'm broke. Everything's so expensive. It's so hard. Well, let me tell you this. In my Money Manifest Challenge, we have a subgroup called Abundance. Yesterday was day one. The task for day one, which we're going to do throughout the challenge, was to manifest €1. Once you've manifested that €1, you double it to 2. However, if you manifest more than the euro, you continue on with that amount. So let's say you're manifesting €1 and you find someone buys you a coffee for €4.10. You get the €4.10 and you try and manifest €4.10. But what you're doing also is you're adding up all the money that you get. You're adding up all this abundance in your life. I'm not joking you. The amount of money that people are coming through, and some of it's big. Some of it is big and some of it is small. I got €2.50 on a discount in Tesco. I got, mine yesterday was, I got €130 from podcast payments, Acast. Whoop, whoop. Thank you very much. I got this sweater that's like about €120. That's €250. I got 50 cents off of my Tesco shop. So that's €250 and 50 cents. Thank you, universe. I am abundant. This morning, I found €60 in a random bag. I'm finding money everywhere. And I found €50 in the wallet to give to the homeless lady. That's €110. You're thinking Yvonne, how do you not know the money is there? I'm telling you, I search sometimes and it's not there, but it's just showing up. So that was day one of the exercise and we continue that on for the 28 days. And the second thing is today is you write all the good things in your phone and you just find all the good things to be grateful for in your life. That morning coffee, the gym workout, the meeting the homeless lady I got to meet. I met a lady in the gym. I did a class called Reshape for the first time. It was all upper body strength, like real strength fitness class. I loved it. I had a partner, another woman called Magella. Never met her before. That interaction, being at the podcast studio. And once you start writing all that stuff down, you start to notice, hold on a second. There are good things in my life, the little things. I'm here in the podcast studio with Owen. It's a great guy, right? So all the little good things in your life, and you do that day after day after day. And listen up, for those of you that can't afford the Manifest Challenge, it's closed anyway, you can wait for the next one. But let me tell you, I'm going to do the first 5 to 7 days. I've already done 2 days on TikTok. Head over to my TikTok. Do them. Do them. And if you want to manifest more money, this is an action that you can take. Do those 7 days on TikTok. Start on day 1, right? Then go to day 2. It's very clear. If you're listening to this, it's April 2026 that they're going to be uploaded, right? The first 2 days are already there. By the time you listen to this next week, I'll have all 7. All of them. It's a start. Listen to my podcast on raising your vibe, manifesting money. The most important podcast from last week, consistency, showing up daily, that consistency of bringing it into your lifestyle. There are no excuses for going month to month, year after year in the same shitty financial situation. And I was listening to a clip. on a podcast of, I can't remember who it was, but he said, I think it was Gary Fox, the entrepreneur experiment. And his guest said this line, which I think is so incredibly epic. He said, most of the successful people I know aren't the smartest. Whoop, whoop. Let me tell you, I 100% believe that. I am not the smartest girl in the room. I was not the top lawyer in the law firm, right? But I will tell you something. I believe in myself. I believe in manifestation. I believe anything is possible. I am persistent. I am not giving up. This is going to happen for me, fact. And you know what I did? And this just goes to show. So I picked a couple of, what I did was when I started this is just an example of belief, right? When I started my Instagram account, I would pick and choose people I started with 400 followers back in July of 2022, right? Family and friends, 400 followers. And I picked somebody, I remember she was a yoga instructor with 800 followers. And that was my target. And after her, it was somebody that had 1,200 followers. And once I got to 1,200, it was somebody with 2,000. Once I got to 2,000, it was somebody with 3,000 or 4,000. I still remember those people who all are in not a similar space to me, like not manifestation, but like selling a service, selling yoga or selling, fitness challenges or whatever it might be. And I am now doing this since 2022. It's 4 years later. And the thing that I found the hardest with growing on social media is effectively how growth is hard. Like, it is hard to grow. But I've looked back on the people that I chased to get to their levels, and I've noticed that their growth hasn't changed in 4 years. Hasn't changed, or has changed very, very little. Whereas I've gone from 400 to 33,000. Now, I still don't think 33,000 is huge. But what is the difference? The difference is showing up, being consistent, putting myself out there, having the courage to be brave, continuously doing. Am I the best content creator? No. Do I know all the tips and tricks? No. But am I at least trying? Yes. And it goes the same for everything else. You've got to show up. You've got to at least try. You've got to stay consistent. Build manifestation into your lifestyle. Be persistent. And remember, the richest people in the world aren't always the smartest. Fact. They are the ones that are going to persevere, that believe in themselves. They're going to keep on going. So, we have another manifestation challenge coming up. It's in May. It's about self-worth, self-belief, self-love. Do not miss out if you need this in your life. And it doesn't really matter. Even if you're signing up to something that's self-love, self-belief, self-worth, it's still going to help you manifest other things, because we are going to be at a high vibrational frequency. Just like when you're doing the abundance challenge, other things might come into your life. So don't miss out. Don't be last minute. Join before it sells out. Every challenge to date has sold out, right? So do it for yourself. Take the action. Don't keep looking and thinking, will I, won't I, won't I? Make a decision and do it. Okay? Until next time, see ya. You are abundant. I'm a vibe. You're a vibe.